Okay, good morning, everyone. I hope all of you doing well and healthy in this time. Uh, Today, I divided in two sessions. The first session, I go over your project and explain a little more. Then also, I'm going to post an advanced topic, which is Spark streaming. And I post a video for some prerequisite that you need to do before the next class on next Monday. So otherwise, it's very hard for you to follow with me. Basically, next week, we connect to Twitter. We get the tweets data in a stream. What I mean stream means the data comes continuously. Right now, so far, you have a bunch of data which is stored in a location, and your data is structured. You just use Spark and Hadoop to handle those data. Now, we want to jump into a new topic, which the data is continuously gets updated, and we want to know how to analyze the data. So anyway, hopefully I post the video tonight. And for the people who are watching the video asynchronously, I'm going to merge these two videos. So after this small discussion about the project, you see the next video, which is the advanced topic. Again, since the advanced one, I don't expect all of you. I don't expect this is a good fit for everyone. Maybe some of you won't work with the stream of the data, but it's really interesting. It also needs you already reviewed some Python programming language, some Python programming language, which how to make function and what those objects means in Python. But anyway, even if you forget everything and you are not interested to do advanced topic in Python, what I mean Python in the Spark environment or PySpark, you still can enjoy the next class. You can change some parameters and just use it. Anyway, so let's start for today. By the way, I already updated your syllabus. So with TA information, we have two TAs. Again, since they're taking the course with you, they cannot grade you. I just expect them to learn topics more in depth and help you to solve your questions. So you can check their office hours over your Moodle, and as you see, it's online. You can email them and ask them any session, but they have their Zoom IDs, and you can just reach them through these specific hours or just email them for any time during the week. So about your project, let me go over project section of your syllabus. Is a bit updated. By the way, we already passed the first due date, and as you see, first it was more, it had more sections, but in your assignment, I just asked you to provide the title and group names. Anyway, and I extended up to the end of this week, so you still have almost 5 days. So if you can add other parts, but anyway, at the end you should submit all of them. So you can work from now and just complete other sections that I even didn't ask from. So today is Monday, 19th of October. You can submit by end of Friday, 23rd of October. So plenty of time. If you want to complete all of it, it's the problem statement, like why you're motivated to do that, the data source, topic, and the scope that you want to work with, data source and description of dataset, including data dictionary, and team members information. However, again, in the assignment, I just ask you to provide team member information and also just topic. But at the end, you need to submit all of them so you can complete the other parts. So next month, second delivery, which is literature review. So You can, if you don't know how to access to the papers from your home, you can check the university website how to use Clock VPN. So with the Clock VPN, you can download the papers that you don't have a free access to them, and see what you want to fill in the literature. For example, you say people did that, I think I have a new topic, this topic could fill the gap. So if you can fill a gap, it's worth of even a publication. So research questions, significant study, descriptive statistics, and visualization. In the next class, I review some descriptive statistics methods and also visualizations. And this is, it should be added for your next submissions. And the format of submission is pretty much similar to your previous analytics programming class. You submit a notebook and also a Word file, and in the Word file you can attach anything that is required from your notebook. So for example, you want to talk about distribution of your data, so it's better to copy and paste the figure from the notebook, otherwise it's very confusing. And in the last week of the class, either November 23rd or 25th, you do a presentation. Is again similar to the previous class, is a in-class or a YouTube presentation. For the in-class, you don't have to be in a class. You can just present over Zoom. The good thing about that, if I have any confusion, I can easily ask and get your points. If you just submit a YouTube video, it might be a lot more challenging to understand what you did. And if I have any questions, it's hard for me to figure it out. So there is some important points. So it's not just implementation of Python in the PySpark environment. This is your almost one of your last projects that you submit. So it should be a very professional report. What I mean professional report, you cite everything. Also in your notebook, you should put enough comment and description. So if I read your notebook, I should understand what you did. On top of Python, you can also use R or SQL, and as you see, we already use them. So you can use Spark R or SQL implementation in the Spark environment, but at the end, everything should be in the notebook. Also, follow CRISP-DM standard. What I mean, this standard is a cyclical one. So you try a method, a workflow, go to the end, either your prediction or anything, or maybe clustering or anything that you do might be very good, but you need to go to the cycle and try to improve your performance. There is no guarantee that you can improve it, but at least I should see 3 cycles or 3 different approaches. So you go back and forth, and maybe you can make different pipelines and just show that you did these pipelines and this is your performance. So we already had a topic about how to do those pipelines. You can read further documentation in the Apache Spark website. So it helps you to get more experience working with pipeline. You don't have to do that, but pipeline just put all the steps that you do for a project. So it's much easier for you to explain your approaches. You just put the pipeline and put a comment. So it's better than putting so many blocks, but you don't have to do pipeline. It's just a good way of summarizing what you did through some steps. Okay, that's for your project. And if you do a good one, maybe you can think of even submitting as a project. So also updated your schedule. So this week, which is week 10, again, dedicate for group project development. So you can use the remaining of this class. If it's remain with your team members, maybe you can make a private Zooms with your colleagues and just see what you want to submit. Or maybe you already submitted and you want to submit something for end of this week. Also, next class is for the descriptive statistics and data visualization. However, again, next week I do a Spark streaming is a very is somehow an advanced topic. Is not maybe interesting for everyone, but if you are, two things that I emailed you, basically install Anaconda Python and make a local installation of Spark and Hadoop, because we are going to run it on your local machine. You have 1 week, and I already posted the video. I think it was lab 4, I guess, but you can just check out over your model and the YouTube channel that I have, and I provide the link for it, so you can see how to install Hadoop and Spark in your system, which I assume many of you already did and got a bonus. So if you haven't had, that's fine. You can just see how we use streaming analysis. I still do a part of it in Databricks, which is common for everyone, but other parts that I do on a local machine would be an advanced topic that may not applicable for everyone. And we don't have any assignment for Spark streaming. So, any questions about what should you do next week on your project? You can use your microphone or just text me. I don't see any questions, but I just give you a couple of minutes to read the updated syllabus, just in case you might have some problem. And you can ask your problems later too. I assume it might be some common problems, so, but I don't see any question raised so far. If I see any common question, I will post it over GroupMe, so it will be shared for the rest of the class. Oh, by the way, unfortunately, this semester we don't have A+. So due to internal policies, I should change it to A. And I'm not a fan of it actually, because A+ could help some of you to raise your GPA if you haven't had, if you have missed some grades here and there. But anyway, I have to follow the policies. So hopefully most of you get A. I'm very hopeful because I've seen very good work so far from you guys. Oh, by the way, for the next class, find an interesting hashtag. So what does hashtag means is basically like a viral topic usually that people might be interested to talk and sort or relate their tweets to that. For example, these days are many people talking about election, so they put hashtag sign and after that they write election because it's a very interesting topic for them. For you might be something else, might be there's a football season right now. Maybe it's a football, guitar, soccer, or other questions, or other hashtags. There's a question here. Okay, there's a question about literature review. I expect you to read at least 5 papers. And what I mean reading for literature review, you don't have to read the paper completely. You look at the most recent papers. Let's say one of you wants to predict a stock market. Just go over Google Scholar. Let me show it here. For example, stock market prediction. And I sort from 2020. So these are like two from left side, 2020, 20, 20. At least look at 5, 6. If you look at more, better. Here, I'm not, yeah, it's a, it seems it's a free paper. So I could download and open it. So you can read. You don't have to, if you have time and you're interested to topic, maybe you can read whole of the paper, but sometimes they talk very advanced topics, this out of your knowledge. That could totally fine. There's no, usually you find new topics that is first time you see that. So if reading whole of paper is difficult for you, look at the abstract, maybe a little of introduction, and the last part, conclusion or result. So this paper has 21 pages. I don't have to read all of them for literature review. If you're interested and want to get more depth information, just read whole of paper. Otherwise, read the abstract, maybe a little of introduction and conclusion. So you can see from abstract and conclusion, you can understand summary of the paper and what they achieved. From introduction, you can see the gap. So usually in the introduction, they say what was the gap and what they want to do. In the method part, maybe it's a new method and you don't have any idea about that. That's totally fine. I mean, you don't have to read 5 complete papers. But for your literature review, do it. And if you're 1 or 2 people, do it 5. If you're a group of 3 or 4, at least read 10 papers. And as you see, this paper is free. I can easily download and see that sometimes the paper are not. You can use Clark VPN, or you can get it from library. So please check from your library, and also I search for you guys if there's an issue and send you a link. You can ask from library how to download some papers, and even you can ask from their Iliad system, which is inter-loan library system. They might ask other universities that they have access to certain paper to download this for you. So anyway, you can either use the journals that university purchase and get it free, or ask from university to loan it from other sources. So they send you a PDF that you can download and use it. Any other questions? Okay, there is one more question. Okay, your friend said it's clear. So again, for the people who are watching asynchronous, I'm going to attach another video for advanced topic that I'm going to teach in the next week. So, and same for people who are watching synchronously over Zoom. So you guys also see another video after it, which is for an advanced topic that I'm going to cover next week. Again, it's an advanced topic. It may not fit for everyone, but it's a really interesting topic. You can do some cool thing using Twitter and analyze what people are doing over Twitter platform. Okay, if there is no question, that's for now. And hopefully by end of today, you see the complete video. I attach both synchronous and asynchronous. Thank you, and have a great rest of the day. Hello everyone. In this video, I teach you some basics for next class that we are going to do Twitter analysis using Spark environment. First of all, you need to make a Twitter API, and then through that API, you get some information that we use in our Python script. So first of all, go to apps.twitter.com. So it asks you to log in. If you don't have any Twitter account, you should create a Twitter account. After that, when you click on apps.twitter.com, you get to this page that you sign in with your credentials. Now I'm inside the Twitter app environment. This is for developers. So on the right side, there's an icon, create an app. Just click on it. Put a unique name. Let me just put like class experiment. Then you need to provide a required description. Let me just put something. This is app for learning Spark. Let's say PySpark. True PySpark and Spark streaming that we have in our big data computing class. Okay. For the website URL, you can basically put anything. That's okay. So let me put www.clarku.edu. You can put google.com too. That's totally fine. The rest you can leave it as empty. And there's another required part that said this field is only visible for Twitter employees. Help us to understand how your app will be used. Will it enable you and your customer to do? Okay. Used for teaching purposes. Students access to the stream of tweets and get the viral tweets and analyze them by experiments. Okay, that's it, and now it's created. That's okay. Now I just create an app. So now go to key and tokens. These are, first of all, for privacy issues, don't share it with someone. And after teaching through this video, I'm going to delete this app. So for me, security is not a big thing now. But for security purposes, you should keep for yourself and don't share it with anyone else. Okay, so I provided one Python file. That Python file has the information that is required to connect into the app. I think the file name is fetchtweet.py. So in the API key, just copy and paste this information. Also for access secret key, copy and paste it in the API secret. Also, clicking on generate, you generate access token secret. You should copy and paste now Otherwise, when you close it, you don't have access. So let me copy, paste here, copy, paste here. Because now, there are other formats. So I don't have access anymore. So in your Python file, there's another section that you provide your interesting hashtags or the topic. Here I put soccer, so you can put any other names that you want, like maybe election or Massachusetts or COVID-19, maybe COVID-19. So just pick the hashtags that are trending. If you pick a hashtag that is not trending, you don't get enough tweets for that. So the tweets that you get based on the hashtag that you provide in here. So for the next class, just try to find topics that are more interesting for you. Right now, I guess we are almost at the end of 2020, so maybe COVID-19 election are trending topics. Also, the port name here is 5555. It depends. You can change it to any other 4-digit numbers, but keep in mind every time that you run the code later, your port might be closed or won't be released. So next time that you use this code, maybe you need to change the code. So the port number. So the port number, the hashtag that you want to check, and also API information, access information. These are the things that you need to provide for the next class. Also, install TweetPy too. So you might need to install that library because by default it's not installed. So as I mentioned, just over Anaconda or command prompt, install these 3 libraries. The first one is TweetPy that you see here. So pip3 install TweetPy. Then after TweetPy, pip3 install matplotlib. And after that, the last library that you install is Seaborn. So pip3 install Seaborn. So you need to install them one by one. So the first library is pip3 install TweetPy. The next one, pip3 install matplotlib. The last one, pip3 install Seaborn. Okay, since I think I already installed, so for me it got much. It happened much more faster. But if you haven't installed it, it might take a little bit more time for you guys. On top of that, sometimes you can install it through Anaconda if it doesn't work well in command prompts. So just open your Anaconda. It might take a little bit. Okay, so for Anaconda, check if you see. Go to environment, base root, click on here, open terminal, and you can also install it from Anaconda too, like pip3 install matplotlib. Or pip3 install 3py. And pip3 install Seaborn. So matplotlib and Seaborn are for mostly visualizations. So okay, so the last thing is you need to download and put a font into your Python library. But let me show you the thing here. Okay, I also gave you a font download notebook. So just come here. Here, it shows you the link to your matplotlib address. So just run the first block, and this is, it would print this address for you. This is the address that I have matplotlib library in it. And under matplotlib, go to npl-data, and you can, in that place, just go to fonts folder, and then go to TTTF. Inside the TTF folder, just copy the fonts that I provided in your model. So anyway, the font is already in my desktop. So the name is Simhai. Right click, copy. So as you see, this is the folder, npl data fonts. So matplotlib npl-data fonts /ttf. Right click, paste here. Okay, that's it for now. So you need to few things. First, make a Twitter API. Then put the credentials inside the fetch tweet.py, and also find the matplotlib folder in your system. Download the font and copy into that folder. Okay, so this is for next week. Hopefully by next week also you can make the local installation of Hadoop and Spark on your system, so you can run that experiment over your system. Thank you very much, and see you next week.